Welcome to Technology Spot Outside, our special program dealing with the fun in outdoors technology.
Advancements in technology can be found all around us, especially outside. We'll be chatting with one local model airplane group that gets together to fly planes, plus a little further out in the sky is space, and you need equipment this big to get a glimpse of what's going on. And we're going fishing with the hottest gear that can track our locations and show us what's going on in the water.
Computers, communications, high-definition televisions, portable devices. Showcasing the world of consumer electronics. This is the Technology Spot.
Welcome to the Technology Spot and our special outside program. With these nice days and warm weather, it's great to get outside and enjoy some of the technology that surrounds us.
When you step outdoors, one of the most noticeable advancements is the automobile. Over the past 100 plus years, the automobile has grown in popularity. New roads, traffic, and street lights, billboard ads, and of course businesses have all been created with the invent of the car. The motorized vehicle has advanced over the years and has had popular spin-offs, from the car to the motorcycle and the growing popularity of the scooter. An older technology, the locomotive, still remains popular today and can often be seen along the countryside and through towns. When you look around outside, you often notice landscape changes like electrical lines, TV antennas, cell phone towers, and communication boxes. These devices support the high-tech life we have become accustomed to. Bright lights, fancy signs, and neon fixtures can also be found. Over the years, the plain printed sign has become a high-tech device. This was a brief look at how innovations through technology have changed our landscape. Personal electronics like laptop computers, cell phones, and portable music players have also become a part of our outside life.
Now don't go away, because our special outside edition of the Technology Spot is just getting started.
Coming up.
Have you ever wanted to fly a plane? One local club works with radio control planes. We'll show you their airport and how it all works. Then we're looking further out into space with some powerful technology. We're on location at Hobbs Observatory, and sometimes it's nice just to relax and go fishing with some new electronic gear changing the way you approach the lake.
Welcome back to our special outside edition of the Technology Spot. Today we're at Levelland International Airport, home of Chippewa Valley Indian Head RC, and we're joined by Mike Riley. How you doing?
Very good, thank you.
You're a member here. You guys fly model airplanes, and we got a variety of them sitting right here. Can you talk a little bit about the different airplanes that we have here?
Well, we've got a small variety. These plane on my right here is an electric one. The one that the wind just blew away is a very tiny electric one that we fly indoors in the wintertime in a gym. This one to my left is a glow-powered one. There's a lot more interest in electric as of the last 5 years. We're getting a lot more people that don't like the muss and fuss of the glow-powered stuff. We're missing quite a bit here, to be honest with you. We do have a fellow that does helicopters and has many. I also have some bigger airplanes that we didn't get out of today because of the weather might be kind of bad, but it's a fun club where we have tons of fun with the camaraderie. We have about 30 people in our club, young and older alike. We do have trainer times and sessions to get the young people started in this.
Sure.
So all ages are welcome and have fun. Wednesday is our usual day out here, and we try and get together to fly, and we eat out here because we got a place to cook and that sort of thing.
All right, Mike. Well, so we have a wide variety in the planes. Do you build them from scratch, or how do you get them together, and how do you get them out here?
Okay, airplanes in the last probably 10 years has gone to a build situation they call ARF. That means almost ready to fly.
Oh.
The airplane comes in a box and all the covering is done, but you still have assembly as far as all your controls, all your electric innards that make all the controls function, and hinging and installing motors, versus a pile of balsa and a plan that you cut and glue and it takes forever to put together. That's the reason the ARFs are so big.
And there's a lot of difference between the different styles of planes, from obviously electric to gas power to other forms of energy. What kind do you prefer to fly, and what kind do you guys fly out here?
Well, we have everything. I'm kind of a giant plane lover myself. I've got some stuff with 10 feet of wingspan and 100cc motors, but I also have tons of electrics. So all of us are kind of involved in electric and gas and the glow stuff. It depends on how much money you want to spend.
Sure.
You know, you can start in this hobby for about $300 to $400 and have a great time, and the more it grows and the more you grow, you can get up to $5,000 or $10,000 in this airplanes.
And this is like a controller that you would use. Now, you can pretty much use this for any of the planes?
Yes, you can take today's computer radios, you can put about 10 to 30 different models in some of them. So you only need one box and you could have 10 airplanes. So, and these, like I say, you can get into this sport for $300 to $400, and that would include something like this.
So is it a lot of fun, and is it hard work to fly the planes around?
Initially, if you've never flown before, we have on simulators on television screens where we can actually get you flying where it costs nothing to crash, and then when you get to the field, we have enough of us here with experience enough to get you up and flying. A lot of times we'll use what they call a buddy box, where we'll hook two of these together, and the trainer can take you up, get you flying, and he can push a button and say it's yours to fly now, and if you get in trouble, you let go of it and you take it back.
Sure.
So that you don't crash, because the more you are careless and crash, the less time you have to fly. So we don't like people to to experience all of that. So.
Yeah, all right. Well, it looks like it's a lot of fun, a lot of good information. Thanks so much, Mike, for being with us.
Well, thanks for coming out.
Yeah.
Still ahead on the Technology Spot.
We just looked at planes a few hundred feet away, and next we'll be looking at the atmosphere hundreds of thousands of miles away. We'll show you the cool gear used to look out that far, plus fishing just got a lot more interesting. We'll show you some of the fun gadgets used to help find those fish. Get more from Technology Spot on the net, part of weau.com. Follow-up articles, streaming video, and interactive features. Go online to weau.com, select Technology Spot from the newscast drop-down menu, and introduce yourself to Technology Spot on the net.
Welcome back to our special outside edition of the Technology Spot. We're outside, it's nighttime, it's about 10 o'clock at night, and we're here today at the Hobbs Observatory, part of Beaver Creek Reserve. We're joined today by Jim Fitzel. How are you doing today, Jim?
Doing just fine.
And right over my left shoulder is this big silo. That's where the telescopes are here on the observatory.
Right.
Can you kind of talk about some of the equipment that's behind there?
Sure. We have two telescopes in the domes. The big one is a 24-inch Newtonian. It weighs about 10 tons, mounted on an old battleship gun turret.
Oh.
And the other one is a Meade 14-inch Schmidt-Cassegrain. It's a smaller telescope, but does the job.
And what kind of things do you guys use them for out here at Beaver Creek?
The most use they get really is for public outreach. We have the public comes out every clear Saturday night from May through October, and it's free and open to the public then.
Oh,
and we also have school groups, scout groups, church groups, family groups that come out and reserve the observatory for a night or two. Also, we have a couple of our Chippewa Valley Astronomical Society members that do some asteroid research out here.
Sure. Wow.
And some of us just come out and use it for personal use.
Wow. And there's kind of a difference. There's two telescopes, but there's a tremendous difference in the age and the technology of them. Can you kind of explain how the technology has changed between the two?
Oh yeah, the old one is originally came from Edwards Air Force Base, and they use it for tracking test aircraft.
Oh.
And that's an old style. It's mounted on an old battleship gun mount. We think it's one of a kind. And the new one, this Meade, is only about 4 years old or so. and that's a Schmidt cast, highly computerized, everything in one little hand paddle, and stores like 18,000 objects we can go to. The other one does that too, but it requires 2 large computers to do it.
Sure. And what kind of things can you see? I know one of them right now is focused on Saturn. What other things do you kind of look at up
Right,
there?
we're looking at Saturn now. The bright planets, when they're visible, we look at that a lot. We can use the smaller one, the Meade, for looking at the sun. We have a smaller telescope also that's specifically designed for looking at the sun. But at nighttime, the bright planets and globular clusters, other galaxies, other clusters of stars, double stars, all kinds of things up there to look at.
Wow.
Nebulae, clouds of gas and dust.
And how does the telescope find the information? How does it, if you want to find the moon or find a planet, how do you locate it to that information?
With these two, we do it with computer. We go to a computer star map, basically, and tell it we want to look at this object, and it slews the telescope to that object.
Wow. It's really fun. How often do you come out here?
I'm out here, it varies. I don't come out every Saturday night with the public groups, but it varies. I come out maybe 2 or 3 times a month, depending on how many groups we have in the camp. This next month is going to be quite busy.
Well, it is interesting technology. I'm sure it's kind of a remarkable stuff to see.
It's quite amazing.
Yeah.
And when you think about what you're looking at,
Sure.
that's the good part.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks, Jim, so much.
You're so welcome.
Next on the Technology Spot.
Have you ever found that sweet fishing spot, then tried to find it again next time and came up empty? After the break, we'll show you how GPS can assist you and help you navigate the lake. Plus, we'll show you sonar that can track the fish and show you what's going on in the water.
Welcome back to our special outside edition of the Technology Spot. Before we go, I thought it'd be fun to get out on a fishing boat and look at some of the hot technology that's out and available nowadays. We're joined by Scott Wilhelm, hunting manager at Shields All Sport, outside of the store, but in a boat where you probably would rather be anyway, right?
I'm rather comfortable here.
So a lot of things have changed. Can you talk a little bit about the equipment that's on your boat?
The biggest thing that's changed the last few years is the advent of GPS in a combination with really high definition sonar.
Oh, really? Okay, kind of explain how do you use GPS on the boat?
It's not just GPS alone. It's in conjunction with some high detail lake maps.
Oh.
So you don't, if the sonar you're seeing exactly what's below you, with the GPS and mapping you're seeing what's ahead of you. And it goes to the detail of telling you where the points are, the rocks are, weed beds, and then as far as repeatability, you can mark a spot you found, your little hot spot in the middle of nowhere, and you can find it in pitch dark if you need to. I mean, the GPS allows you to get back there in a hurry.
And that's really nice if you know exactly where the fish are and you can mark that little sweet spot, huh?
It's all about location.
And a little bit about the sonar. How does that kind of work then?
The sonar, there's a lot of different sonars now. There's the traditional, the arc sonar that gives you with the color graph, where you can tell the difference between rock and a muck bottom, the densities of the bottom content. There's also side imaging sonar now that actually is way more efficient. It'll go out 180 feet in each direction. It just takes efficiency with your sonar right through the roof.
And how hard is it to install this kind of equipment onto a fishing boat?
Well, for about $80 an hour, you can get it done a lot of places around town.
So you don't do it yourself?
It's a little over my head to do it myself. So.
Sure. And is it hard to learn, hard to get used to? I mean, what?
The biggest thing, like when I'm selling these things as Shields, is all this tell customers, I mean, you got to throw yourself into the fire. You're not going to hurt anything by pressing the wrong button.
Sure.
I mean, people are just intimidated by all the buttons and features. Well, a lot of them are only going to serve purpose for only a few people. So.
And I suppose after you get used to it and you use it, you don't want to be without it.
I don't know how I ever fished without it before.
Sure, and probably see a lot of get a lot more catches because of it, or?
It definitely helps catching fish. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind it helps catch more fish.
All right, well, thanks, Scott, so much for the information. It's certainly a nice day, so hopefully you'll get some catches today.
I hope so.
All right, thanks, Scott, and thanks so much for joining us on our special outside edition of the Technology Spot. Now make sure you get outside this weekend.